Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to my channel, and today I'm here to talk about what I liked and what I did not like about the PlannerCon 2018 that was held in San Francisco, California earlier in the month of March. Now, I did blog about it, which you guys can check up here. I also did a haul trying to shout out all the amazing shops that I met and encountered on the thing, which you can also click up here, but both of those links will be left down below in the description box. But while you're checking the description box, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This eclectic channel has everything from Harry Potter to stationery to makeup to whatever else I feel like putting on this channel, so please don't forget to subscribe. Now about PlannerCon. So I made the decision to go to PlannerCon because I got a really cheap ticket with American Airlines, and I will say I will never be flying American Airlines again. They tried it, but I'm not going to talk about that. But PlannerCon for me started on Friday. They had a thing that night where you could do early registration and then an event called Meet the Stars, which I guess was like a chance for you to meet people like Erin Condren and Christy Dickerson and the fantastic couple from Oh Hello Stamps and Pen Gems, you know, all of those people, which was fine. But to me, I just looked at it as a time to pre-shop because at this particular time, shopping began. So in the main hall, you got to see, you can also see this in my blog, but in the main hall, you saw like a line of shops, and then upstairs, there was a room for shops as well. So for me, I took it like a marketing opportunity. Like I think I made myself give out like 200 cards that night or something. And then I just forced myself to talk to people. And I think I will say the bag that I got, I showed in my vlog, the first bag that I got, it actually ripped. I walked upstairs, went to put it on my shoulder while I was talking to a vendor, and it literally snapped off right in front of the vendor. And we were both like, oh my gosh. So I had to go back downstairs, get another one, and come back up. But I will say that the number one best part about PlannerCon are the people that I met. I feel like these type of events are great for networking. It's great to find people who like the same kind of things you like. Like, you don't have to explain your obsessions to these people because these people have the same obsessions that you have. I also realized, like, everybody there was so friendly. Like, I sat next to amazing women every day. I tried to sit somewhere different unless I was just feeling lazy. And in the main hall, I sat next to these wonderful ladies. I even started making sure I tried to follow most of them on, you know, Instagram and stuff. And like, everybody was so nice. Everyone except these two particular volunteers. I do not know their names. I could not read their tags. But one of them, we were in a workshop, and there were some ladies that I sat next to. I hadn't met them yet, but I was going to meet them. We were going to become close really quick. And we were at a table, and two of the girls had gotten up to run to the bathroom before the class started. And another one of the ladies, she was, the seat that was next to her was for her friend. And I swear to God, this particular volunteer came, are you sitting here? Are you saving a seat? You can't save a seat. Like, she was so hostile to the point where she was going to tell us to move the girls that went to the bathroom, move their stuff so she could put people in those seats because they should be there. And I was like, girl, first of all, we actually had to tell her, do not yell at us. She was yelling at us. She was being really hostile. And she was being hostile to us for a mistake that they made. And I just didn't feel like that was okay. And then the other lady, I had to run to go get some food, which I'll talk about in a second. And when I was coming back in, I had my jacket on. So, like, you couldn't see my little thing. And, like, she just became crazy that I wasn't showing her my thing. So I showed it to her, but then I wanted to ask her, like, what was going on. And she was like, I'm not here to tell you what's going on. You have a pamphlet for that. And I was like, girl, like, you're the volunteer. Like, you're the people that we're supposed to go to talk to when we need something. So, like, why do you have an attitude? So, like, those two girls really threw it off for me. And I was just like, wow, that is crazy. But then, so that was my one negative. So we're going to bring it back to a positive, and we're going to talk about the speakers. So the speakers were Erin Condren, Christy Dickerson. I cannot remember the girl from Oh Hello Stamps, or Oh Hello Co. rather. But the thing that cracked me up, honestly, I thought these ladies were super nice. Like, I got to talk to them. Like, they actually took the time to talk to me. And I know that was probably exhausting because they had so many people to talk to. But I just really appreciate that they took the time to actually, like, talk to us. And I bought Christy's book. She signed it for me. She loved my hair. And I don't know. I felt like their stories were great in a way that it was like, everybody kind of feels like they can't do more, or everybody feels like it's too late for them to do something. And like every one of their stories, it was like, you know, it's never too late. Like, I felt very inspired by the panel choices, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Not panel, speaker choices. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really, really cool. So, you know, that pops off, which is great. And then let's talk about a con, and that is the workshops. I signed up to take basic lettering with Tombow, take your traveler's notebooks to the next level with Carpe Diem, and mood mandalas with Boho Berry. And I'll be very clear, I already knew how to do a mood mandala. Obviously, I watch Boho Berry religiously, so I already knew. I just really wanted to see her in person. I know that sounds so weird and so stalkerish, but I don't know. I just wanted to see her teaching in person. But, okay, so the first workshop, to me, was a disaster. It was with Tombow, and Tombow messed up because they did not ship out the supplies for the class. So we did not have the Fundeski pens that are supposed to be easier to learn with, and all that stuff. We did not have any materials. In fact, they printed off the worksheets that you can get for free on the website, and went and bought some Tombow dual brush pens from Michael's, and you could borrow them, but you had to give them back at the end of the class. So one part of the one-ups to the workshops is that you get stuff. We got nothing. All they could say to us was, oh yeah, sorry girl, we'll send you an email to all the worksheets that we were going to give you, but like, we don't have to give, essentially they were like, we don't have to give you pens. So I was a little bummed out about that, because I was thinking about trying the pen that they were going to give out to us to use. So that was going to be like my decision making, but yeah. But the other problem was, this is where that crazy volunteer was about the class. And the reason she was so gung-ho crazy about these seats is because they overbooked it. Now, if you go on to PlannerCon's Facebook page, which we will talk about in a second, they will try to say that, oh, you know, it was a mistake with the hotel, da-da-da-da-da. But my thing is, this is a planning community. You saw the blueprints, you were in the hotel, and not one person had time to go upstairs and make sure that there were enough tables and chairs for everybody that signed up for the class. Girl, what? And we're supposed to just be okay with it. People were sitting on the floor. People were standing up in the back. Like, I just felt uncomfortable. And not to mention, we were already crammed. It was at least 9 people at a table as it was. So it was cramped up in the first place. So I really didn't like that. Brittany, the girl that taught the class, she tried really hard, but honestly, I don't know what a lettering class was supposed to be like, but I don't feel like I learned anything, because she had to work with what she got, but that doesn't mean that I have to like the class, because they messed up on both sides, in my opinion. Now, the Carpe Diem class, that class was cool. We learned how to make sleeves for our traveler's notebooks that we could change out. And then we also learned how to make a pocket for our traveler's notebook, which was cool, because I want to try to do something to that regard. And I felt like that was a good class. The one thing that just really kind of annoyed me with that workshop was that they were like, you know, if you ask, luckily they didn't do the, if you ask questions, we'll give you things. So people didn't ask stupid questions. But again, it was kind of crammed. There was a lot of us at a table. And yeah, I met all the pretty ladies at my table. They were awesome. They were great. But it was like, I didn't really want to try to work on anything, because I felt very cramped. And it was really bothering me. Like, it's crafts, you know? Like, we need more space. And I can't work in this small confined space. Plus, a lot of us traveled. So, we couldn't bring our big scissors and our hole punches and all that stuff. We couldn't travel with all that stuff, and they didn't really have enough to supply. Luckily, we had girls that were from the area, so they were busting out marker. They were busting out everything, and it was great. So we were fine, but I felt like that was another thing that probably should have been planned better. And then for Mood Mandala, actually, this is for the basic lettering and the Mood Mandala class. I felt like they didn't have the right equipment because in Boho Berry's class, you need the projector, but like the projector was projecting like orange. Like the lighting was all jacked up. I felt like they didn't make sure that the instructors had what they needed to teach the class. And again, this is PlannerCon. These kind of things, like I know y'all got checklists. I know y'all got lists. Why didn't anybody go in and check these things beforehand? So it made it a little difficult for me to see it. And I didn't put that on Boho Berry because she did what she could, what she had. But I felt like technology-wise, I was like, y'all, like, nobody thought to check this. Nobody planned to check this. So, yeah. So, on to another pro. Another pro that I would like to talk about is the panels. They had 2 panels, and they were people that we recognized, which was cool. And I don't know. I like the I'm not going to lie. I love the panels more for the fact that the husband of Oh Hello Co was there, and he stands for his wife, and I thought that was so freaking adorable. Plus, he was one of the only. It was like a couple planner husbands there, so he was one of them, and I don't know. I thought that was nice, and I like people that I see being successful being normal, if that makes sense. Like I like hearing that Boho Berry has stopped taking her hormones and like she's trying to have a baby. I like seeing that like they were struggling to have kids and now they have kids. And, you know, I like seeing stories like that because sometimes we have a tendency to make people seem superhuman, but seeing them in person kind of grounds them back and makes it like, you know, possible for everybody. So I really, really like the panels and I really appreciate that. So, on to another negative. The biggest negative that I can give is to the creator, Louisa, or I think that's her name. And this isn't to bash her. I actually spoke to her in person. She was a very nice lady because I was trying to do the check thing. But the one thing I didn't like were the raffles. Now, you bought raffles to support a local charity, which was fine. I'm all for it. I had already put money aside to make sure that I put my donations in to get the tickets for them. But the rule was you had to be in the main hall at specific times when the raffle started, and if you weren't in the room when the raffle was called, then you didn't get the prize. That's not how it was. She would read off a raffle number and then they would save it. Why am I here? If you're just like, I'm following the rules. So then I'm thinking, okay, well then cool, because they don't have a scheduled lunchtime. They don't have scheduled breaks. They don't have scheduled lunch. So you kind of have to like work around it. So one afternoon I was like, okay, I'm going to like run upstairs to the bathroom. I've got some snacks up there. Maybe I can eat like a banana or something, like just eat some food really quick, drink some water, sit down for a second, and then I can come back downstairs. Well, apparently when I did that, Pen Gems had given out pens. Now, I'm not like super obsessed with Pen Gems, but I mean, it's something that's considered free, so I wanted it. And I couldn't get one because I wasn't in my seat at the time they gave it out. Like that, I know that seems weird for y'all, but that nitpicked me because I felt like they picked and choose when they wanted to follow their own rules, and that really, really bothered me. The next pro is the swaps. Planathon night, I didn't actually plan anything. I don't know, I feel kind of weird planning like my weeks and stuff out with a bunch of people. But I did love the swaps, and the swaps gave me an opportunity, A, to meet a lot of cool Etsy shops that I'm already shopping from. B, I learned about Black Women Who Plan and Create, which is another group that I am looking into trying their conference this year. It gave me an opportunity to get tons of so much stuff. Oh my gosh. So much stuff. Like, so much stuff. And you guys saw that at my haul, so I won't talk about it. But that was amazing. I really, really loved that. Like, man, fantastic. Now, the last thing that I will say is that I don't know if I'm going to do another PlannerCon event. That is because, A, they rose the price. They created a VIP package that they can't even really tell you what it includes because she made it sound like she had just invented it that day. And that's $200. And then the regular price is $99, but with like With the $200 one, you get like a lunch, and I feel like I'm paying money to be able to go eat. And I don't know how I feel about that. Plus, the PlannerCon parties are the same price as the big PlannerCon that's next year. And I don't know. I feel like there isn't enough, that there's not enough of the same to be charging me the same thing. Plus, they're not having it in a city that's closer to me. I didn't really like the area that it was in for the San Francisco one. So since I'd already done that one, I said I would do a PlannerCon party, but none of the PlannerCon parties are in places where I can get to easily. And like I said, I'm trying to do Black women who plan and create this year. So I'm trying to weigh out the money options. But I did like the fact that for the price, I got 2.5 days. I would have liked to see more vendors, but if vendors don't want to come, that's their choice, you know? I will say that I also did not like the fact that I had to get on Facebook to find out information about the PlannerCon. I feel like if I pay my money and you're sending me confirmation emails through my email, then I could get those same kind of emails about what's happening, about how to register. I didn't even know, like, luckily I was talking to somebody, but you had to register for the workshops by getting accepted on the Facebook group and then I'm going through there. Like, I didn't get any emails or anything like that. I'm not a Facebook person. So like, they basically forced me to have to get on Facebook to get what I paid my money for. And that was the number one thing I do not like. I do not like that conferences and stuff are forcing you to get on Facebook to find out information. I paid my money. You can send me some emails. And if you don't want to, hire somebody who will send out these emails. Boho Berry sends out an email every Friday to her mailing list. Y'all could create a mailing list to do the same thing. So that was my biggest beef with it. But again, it was a great experience for me. I learned some things. I didn't like, things that I do like. And hopefully there will be one in Houston because Black women who plan and create is a little expensive. And I'm going to be holding off on the rest of these planner conferences because I like Comic-Cons too, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Did you guys do PlannerCon? Are you planning on doing a PlannerCon? I think they've got like the listing. I think there's like Salt Lake City, Honolulu, and 2 other places. I just won't be going to them because location-wise, it's just expensive. It's too expensive for me. To go just for right now. So that's why I'm not even considering them. But I did want to kind of get my thoughts out about PlannerCon. If I forgot anything, go ahead and check the blog. Links will always be down below.